Yes.
So what are the main, points that within your software that stands out?
I used to work with a lot of manufacturers and distributors, and they really struggled to understand their profitability.
And it's very hard to match up the payment which has been sent from Amazon, and the dates will be different.
Exactly.
So how do you your software manage that?
So we have two parts to the system.
Sure.
We have an order-based part, which helps you to kind of understand the demand that there is for your products.
How many different types of fees you normally see? Because there's a big list of fees,
Yep.
right?
I think we account for more than 100 fees.
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Welcome to Ecom Squeezed. I'm your host Sebastian and founder of Retail-Outsource, and today we have Alex with us. He is the founder of 3fin, a software that makes your life easier in terms of looking into the profit on Amazon. So he's going to give us more details on that, and we will discuss all those topics. So Alex, welcome to the show. Could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. So I'm Alejandro. You can call me Alex. I'm the founder of 3fin. So what we do actually, we help, as you were saying, Amazon sellers at the moment, but in a few months also Shopify and other marketplace sellers to understand their profitability with accuracy and granularity. So we focus a lot on helping Amazon sellers kind of go through the different costs, understand where the money is going, and then contextualize that with year-over-year growth, month-over-month growth, so they can understand the trends.
Oh, that's great. And that means a lot of data points are going into your software, right?
Yes.
So what are the main points that within your software that stands out?
Of course. And maybe it's good if I roll it back 1 second and I explain why we decided to start this company. So I used to work for Amazon before in Spain.
Really? Directly with Amazon? Oh,
yes.
Okay, so you have good knowledge how the system works. Yeah.
That's also one of the reasons why we decided to start this company, because I used to work with a lot of manufacturers and distributors, and they really struggled to understand their profitability when it comes to Amazon. We all know Amazon, it's quite a hard platform. So what we do is we connect via an API.
Yeah.
We connect to Amazon, to your account, and we pull all of the data points that are available to us. So we pull all the reports, all the financial stuff, all the advertising data points. We consolidate it, put it together, and then we can show you not only the profitability of your business, but how that's changing over time, so you can understand, okay, I need to optimize X product, or I need to optimize Y aspect of my business, so that in the long term, you can have a more profitable business while sustaining a good growth in terms of top line.
Okay, great. And in terms of data points, how many data points do you look into from Amazon?
We have hundreds of data points. So we're pulling all of the business reports, because not only do we help you understand your business in terms of financially, but we also help you streamline all the processes, right?
Yeah.
We know, especially in Europe, I put this example because there's 5-6 marketplaces.
Yeah.
So every time you want to run an analysis on one of the marketplaces or on your account as a whole, you need to go into Seller Central, download all the reports, put them together in an Excel, and then run the numbers so that you can make the decisions, right? So we streamline all that process so that you can look at your business very quickly and then spend more time taking those decisions, right? To answer your question as well, we have around 100 KPIs when it comes to sales and traffic and advertising.
Yeah.
And then we have around 50 different profitability measurements, so that you don't have to do many maths and use Excel.
Yeah. So on Amazon there are plenty of reports. There is no shortage of reports, and it can get really confusing for the seller. They don't know what to do. They can download business report. They can download the payment. Within payment, there is plenty of options from the drop down. So it's really confusing. So how can your software make it easy for them?
For sure. I mean, with our software, you don't really need to go much into Seller Central, because we already have all the data prepared for you. So as you were saying, for example, we focus a lot on payments, and that's actually one of the big differentiators that we have with competition.
Yeah.
It's that we do a payments-based P&L, so that you can understand, of course, how much you're selling, but also you can understand and get a quick sense of your cash flow, which, as we know, it's very important at the moment for Amazon sellers.
Yeah, and in terms of the payments going to your bank, there's always a delay, right?
Yep.
So and it's very hard to match up the payment which has been sent from Amazon and the dates will be different.
Exactly.
So how do you your software manage that?
So we have two parts to the system.
Sure.
We have an order-based part, which helps you to kind of understand the demand that there is for your products in real time. And then we have the financial part, which is payments-based. Of course, there's a slight difference, and we see it especially in events like Black Friday or Prime Day, that you're going to have a few days delay.
Yeah.
And Amazon is actually now shifting to a new model that's called DD+7 for payments. Yes, it's not going to be great for Amazon sellers, because what Amazon is going to start doing is only start paying you 7 days after delivery.
Yeah.
So if, let's put an example, right? I sell a product today, the customer receives it in 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And then my payment is only going to get accounted for 7 days after that. So you're looking at a 15-day impact on cash flow.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a long delay, right?
Yep.
And in terms of VAT, for example, in the European countries, VAT is one of the main things.
Yep.
So is that something that you accommodate on your software?
We don't really focus much on doing the VAT because it's very complicated and it's something that you cannot get wrong.
Yeah.
So there's no margin of error, at least from our point of view. Our P&L, it's 100% accurate, so you can compare it with the work that your accountants are doing, because they're also looking at the payments that are flowing from your account.
Yeah.
In terms of VAT, we give you a P&L net of VAT.
Sure.
Right, so that you can look at your real profitability. And with the current changes that Amazon has implemented in Europe as well, with the VAT implementation on referral, FBA fees, storage fees, and inbound fees, your business is actually having a much lower profitability, because a much worse cash flow.
Yeah.
Because you're having to pay the 20% extra on a significant part of your business. So we already help you see that net of VAT, but you can always toggle that on to see the impact on cash flow.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that we have seen is that, on the business reports, so let's assume that you are running a voucher on Amazon. On the business report or on the PPC side, it doesn't show, reflect that amount, right? And this is one of the area that most of the sellers get wrong. So how do you accommodate that on your software?
To be honest with you, it's quite hard to get it right, because the problem with Amazon is that they are not clear with their numbers. Directly from Seller Central.
Sure.
So you look at the business report, then you look at the orders report, and then you look at the payments report.
Yeah.
And it's all different.
Yeah.
There's not a single source of truth, which is very hard. We work with a few Shopify brands as well, and everything's a lot clearer, right?
Yeah.
There's one number, orders or sales.
Yeah.
In Amazon, you have sales OPS, sales shipped, then you have the payments, then you have the order. So it's a mess, right? What we do to account for promotions, we get from the API all of the promotional events that you're running. The problem is that Amazon takes your promotions in two different ways. So first way, they account for it in the price. Sometimes, as you were saying, if you're running a coupon, it's not going to be accounted for in the price. Yeah. But if you're running a lightning deal, sometimes it's accounted for in the price. Yeah. So many times it's difficult to allocate because Amazon doesn't give us the data.
Yeah.
So what we show you, it's in the P&L, we show you gross ASP, so gross average selling price. Sure. Then net average selling price, and we discount the promotions that we get from Amazon. Of course, we're working to try to map where each promotion is coming from and what the impact on pricing is. So split it between promotions and price decreases. But we're only as good as the data that we have, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. And in terms of savings on labor, right? It makes if you're working with the Excel, if you download, it's gonna consume a lot of time, right? So, what kind of savings have you seen, from your clients using 3fin?
Of course, we work with quite a diverse range of customers. Sure. We work with a lot of enterprise customers. So let's say like 50 million plus Amazon companies. We work also with that mid-range of customers, which I think it's also our sweet spot. So companies that are doing between 1 to 5 million. And then we also work a lot with agencies. So I say this because at the end of the day, we work with professional sellers and that have teams that are in charge of Amazon, right? So from what we have been seeing during the past year, we're saving around 2 hours per week on reporting at minimum.
That means, the software will pay itself off, right?
Exactly.
So the ROI is there straight away.
There's two ways the software repays for itself, right?
Yeah.
There's one which is time savings, which is it's
Yeah,
a nice
it
way
is.
to put it, right? Because you don't see the savings directly on your pocket. And the second one is through real analysis of the P&L and having tangible cost savings.
Yeah. And so the accounts and everything will be more accurate. And on your website, what are the main KPIs that you will show on the main dashboard when you log in?
You can choose the KPIs.
So you can customize it.
You can customize the KPIs as you'd like. As I was saying, we have around 80 KPIs that you can customize from.
80?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's also one hard thing I feel like. We speak with a lot of customers.
Yeah.
Some want an out-of-the-box template. Some others want a lot of customization. So it's very hard to find the sweet spot. We prefer the customization side because if you choose your metrics, they will stay there. But it's very hard also to help people understand how you should look at your business, right? So we're doing a lot of educational work as well, having calls with our clients, training their teams on how to look at the P&L for an Amazon business, which is quite hard to be honest.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the integration, right? So we have Amazon, UK, Amazon Germany, Amazon France, Amazon Spain. They have Amazon in a lot of countries.
Yep.
So do you have to integrate each one of them, or do you just integrate the parent account? How does it work?
The way it works is we're like an authorized developer from Amazon. And the way Amazon is split is they're split into 3 regions and 2 main APIs. So you have the selling partner API, that's for 3P sellers, right? For third-party sellers.
Yeah.
Then you have the vendor side, which is a whole other thing.
Yeah.
For seller, you have 2 main APIs, so selling partner API and the advertising API. And then both of them are divided into 3 regions.
Yeah.
So you have Europe and India, you have North America, and then you have Asia.
Sure.
So we connect directly to each region. If you connect to Europe and India, we'll pull all of the marketplaces.
It's by region.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you just connect whatever. So for example, if it's European, it will be either Germany or UK, for example, I assume, or based on the seller country. Will that be the country?
It doesn't really matter because you can be selling both in the Europe and the US. Yeah. And if you connect through the API, we will pull all of the data that's in there. Okay. So if you're selling in 10 marketplaces, that's also one of the massive benefits that we see for our platform, is that we will consolidate your full account performance, and we will even give you insights at the parent level. Okay. So the way Amazon is structured, which is also quite hard to be honest, you get different parents for different marketplaces. So when you're looking at your performance, you cannot really match all of your parents together because they're all different. So we have found a technical solution where we have created a virtual parent or a grandparent, and we allocate all of your child ASINs to that virtual parent so you can see performance across 21 marketplaces.
Okay. And I want to move into PPC side, Alex. So we have, that's something that a lot of sellers put a lot of focus on, right? PPC, what's tacos, what's ecos, and all those kind of KPIs. So how do you accommodate that on your 3Fin software?
So as I was saying, we're connected to the advertising API, so we can pull all of your advertising data as well. And one of the big benefits that we see in our software as well is that Amazon restricts you initially to 90 days of data, of advertising data. Yeah. So the good thing of working with us is that we consolidate that data over time, right? We also have that limitation initially, so we can only pull 90 days of data. But as you move forward, we will give you your TACos, your ACOS, your ROAS, at the product and at the marketplace level. And if you're working with multiple brands within your account at a different brand level, so you can find those optimization opportunities in terms of allocation of budget specifically, so that you can look very quickly at your products and say, okay, maybe I'm overspending here. I can see how much I've been putting in this product over time. So we give you month by month, and we comparisons on total ad sales, total ad spend, how your TACos and your ROAS, it's changing on a product level basis. So you can just at a glance understand your full business, because we link that to the traffic generation, conversion rate, and then to the sales and profitability of each of the products.
Yeah, great. And Alex, I want to pick your brain on the compliance side now, right? that we are playing with the numbers. So most of the people are quite sensitive, right? So what are the measures that you have in place to be, for example, we have in the European Union that all this compliance happening. So how do you?
For sure. So we are in AWS. We're using AWS to store all of our data. And to be a trusted developer by Amazon, we need to pass monthly audits.
Yeah.
So we speak with Amazon on a regular basis. They check that we're compliant on a GDPR basis. And we're very focused on keeping the data secure and making sure that only our team has access to the data. So we're not sharing data with any external parties because your data is your data.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. And what are the challenges that a normal seller face? When you have a lot of accounts, right, managing under 3fin. So what are the challenges that you see in general?
Yeah, I think lately storage has been quite a big issue.
Okay.
We have been seeing a lot of sellers increasing their storage fees compared to last year.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's actually a big increase because normally what we see, and also to share some benchmarks, we see, for example, that the storage and other FBA costs oscillate between 3 and 5%.
Yeah.
This year we're seeing almost an increase times 2.
Wow.
So we're seeing between 6 and 10%. And that has a massive impact in profitability. So kind of planning ahead, and I think that's also at the end of the day, Amazon, from my point of view, of course, you need to focus on making your products pretty and appealing, having a good product. But many times we forget that Amazon, it's a supply chain business, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have product, you cannot sell it.
Yeah.
So planning ahead well, like understanding your sales velocity, understanding which products are rotating, which ones are not, because you're also incurring long-term storage fees.
Exactly.
Inbound placement fees in the US have had a massive impact this past year. And we have seen that Amazon is not going to increase their fees for next year.
Yeah.
But because they have been increasing, we did a quick analysis, and I'll share this with you if you want to put it afterwards.
Yeah.
Because we did an analysis on FBA fees in particular. They've been rising since 2018 at an 8% yearly.
Really?
Yes.
8%?
Yes.
Jesus.
So if you compare against 2018, your FBA fees right now are almost 50% higher.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I think Amazon is adding more and more fees, right? Every year there's some kind of new fees. And in terms of that fees also, how many different types of fees you normally see? Because there's a big list of fees, right?
I think we account for more than 100 fees. So
can it make more confusing, right? For the sellers.
I mean, it's really very hard. Before doing 3fin, I used to work for an aggregator as well.
Yeah.
So we were looking at P&Ls of businesses on a recurring basis, and it's very hard to map all of those individual fees. And maybe they account for 0.5% or 1% of your business. Yeah. But that's money that you're leaving on the table, especially if you don't understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, that's a very good point, and it's really confusing. And you mentioned about aggregator, right? So let's assume that what are the key points or KPIs that normally a buyer, selling the business, that will look into on their business?
For sure, sustained growth. I would say it's the first one.
Okay, that's the main thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's sustained growth and 20% plus profit margin.
Okay.
I would say those are two like deal breakers.
Yeah.
And then of course, understanding well the product portfolio, having a good product development roadmap. Because if you're selling your business, the next person needs to take it on and keep growing it. That's why they're buying it as well.
Yeah.
So having a very clear plan on where you want to take your business, assuming that everything with your business is working well, and also being able to justify any problems, because at the end of the day, every business has problems.
Yeah, of course.
So being able to say, okay, I didn't sell very well this period because I ran out of stock.
Yeah.
But then the sales velocity picked up well. I didn't have to put much advertising spend to regain the ranking, etc., etc. So having a very clear understanding of your business is always key when selling.
Yeah. And regarding the packages that you have within 3fin, could you just give us an idea of what is like an aspect?
For sure, and that's something that we also worked a lot on. Pricing, it's very hard to have a clear pricing strategy, and we see that other softwares out there make it also quite complicated. Most of the softwares out there either do it on an order basis, or they take a percentage of your business.
Yeah.
Right. So what we try to do is say, for smaller guys, we're going to give a very good price, very competitive price. So for companies that are making less than $500,000 per year, we're charging $50.
Yeah.
And then as you increase your sales, we also start charging slightly more. But our pricing goes from $50 to $250 per month.
Okay. And in terms of the software itself, what are the other functions that you have? Like, for example, you mentioned that you can connect Amazon, right? The banks, the money where the banks goes to the banks, right? So do you have an integration with the bank to make sure that whatever Amazon send have reached the bank, for example?
I mean, we're a pretty young company. We've been around for 1 year, more or less.
Yeah.
We would love to have a lot of integrations, but what we started the business on, it's on the 4 pillars of what we think are the most important things for an e-commerce business, right? So we focus on operations.
Sure.
We focus on supply chain. We focus on finance, and we focus on advertising.
Okay.
So that's what we have right now.
Okay.
There are very exciting things coming very soon. We're also opening new marketplaces and new integrations. And hopefully we will have also banking integrations very soon.
What are the other marketing you're planning to come?
So we're doing Shopify Q1 this year.
Oh, Q1. That's
Yes.
right. Yeah.
And then we're doing a few other marketplaces very soon.
That's fantastic news. And I want to ask you about the individual products that you have, right? So if you sell a product on Amazon, so we can narrow it down, right, on your software, saying, okay, exactly, we see this is the all the cost and the profit and everything. And if it's dropped down, for example, can we set an alert, for example? Because if I have 1,000 ASINs,
of course,
it's better to have a special, a section where I can just go and check all those products that are not making profit, right?
Yes, we have email alerts, not only for profitability, but also for supply chain. Because as we were saying before, if you don't have stock of a product, you cannot sell it. And if you have low stock of a product, you shouldn't be running advertising campaigns on that either. So we help you kind of get a full 360 view of your business and set up everything so that when you come into the platform, you already know what you're looking for. You say, okay, I can do this, I can do that, this I shouldn't do, these products I should cut from my portfolio as well. That's also something that we focus a lot on. It's helping you understand which products you shouldn't be investing money on. Many times we think, okay, let's put money on everything. But when you get to a maturity stage where you're already growing well, your profitability is looking good, there are a lot of cost-cutting opportunities to actually make that profit margin significantly better.
Yeah. And from as an agency, we find it really hard, for the currency conversion, right? So if you have, let's assume, take an example of a European, right? So if you are based in the UK, for example, if you are selling on European side, it's euros, and when it send the conversion, everything, it can get really complicated on the numbers. So how do you manage that with your with Refin?
For sure. So we take all of the data from Amazon, from the original marketplace that it's coming from. So if it's coming from the US, we'll take it in US dollars, and then we allow you to convert for currencies. So we take the weekly spot rate, and we convert on that basis. So if you want to see your full business in pounds, you just need to toggle in, click pounds.
So that's based on that date, the date that Amazon send it, you will check the FX rates and then.
Exactly. We look at the weekly FX so that you can normalize it, because otherwise it's completely crazy. But it's like currencies are fluctuating quite a bit now. You make a good normalization of that currency if you look at the weekly spot rate. Okay.
And you were speaking in Dubai World DF, right? So what was the topic that you were?
So we were speaking about profitability.
Oh, okay. And we just explain, the main topic that we were speaking.
Yes. And I mean, we were showing the platform to everyone here in Dubai. We think it's a very interesting market. And we were looking at the margin pressure that there has been from Amazon during the past years, and how you can actually improve your profitability by looking at certain KPIs.
Oh, okay, that's great. And for the viewers, do you offer any free consultation or any offers that you have that you want to say that to the viewers?
For sure. So we will be sharing a link with a Calendly so that you can book a meeting with us, and we can understand better, have a free consultation for your business. And we will also be offering the viewers a 50% discount code. so that you can also take advantage of a promotion.
Great. I will put all the details on the show notes, the LinkedIn profile and the website and the promo code and all the details. You can find that on the show notes. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you.